Welcome back to our channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and currency. If you're a collector, investor, or just a curious viewer, you're in the right place. First up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1973 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark, and how its value is trending in today's auction market. This is a coin that many people overlook, but you'd be surprised to know that even in fine condition, it can fetch a surprising value. Before we get into the current market value and auction data, let's quickly review what makes the 1973 Lincoln penny special. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, as evidenced by the lack of a mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint traditionally didn't add mint marks to their Lincoln cents until 2017. With a production run of over 3.7 billion, the 1973 no mint mark penny is a valuable coin. Like all coins, its condition, historical significance, and the interest from collectors can influence its market value. When we talk about fine condition, we're referring to a coin that shows moderate wear. In a fine grade, you'll notice worn-out high points, but the major details of Lincoln's profile and the lettering will still be clear and distinct. So why would a seemingly ordinary coin like this attract attention in the auction market? The answer lies in the collector's mindset. While millions of these coins were minted, finding well-preserved examples from 1973 can be challenging. Also, for many collectors, it's about completing a set of Lincoln pennies from different years and mints, and that's where this coin becomes valuable. Even in fine condition, collectors may be willing to pay more than face value to fill that gap in their collection. So, let's look at what this coin is currently selling for in auctions. In recent online sales, the 1973 Lincoln cent in fine condition has been selling for around $70,000. That might sound like much for bulk sales or well-preserved coins. Prices can go even higher. Here's where things get really interesting. Some sellers have managed to attract bids of up to $80,000 or more for this coin. These higher prices are often seen when a penny is part of a larger collection or when it's presented with a strong provenance or store story. And remember, this is just for fine condition. Higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated can see even higher values. If you have a 1973 Lincoln cent in better condition, say very fine or extra fine, you could higher prices depending on the demand at the time. Grading and certification can make a significant difference. A coin that's professionally graded and encapsulated will almost always attract more interest and higher bids. For the 1973 Lincoln cent, certification is particularly useful when trying to verify the coin's authenticity and condition. So if you believe you have a high-grade example, it might be worth the investment to get it graded. If you're interested in selling your own 1973 Lincoln cent, listing it on a reputable auction sites or a dedicated coin marketplace can be a great way to reach collectors. Be sure to include high-quality images, a detailed description of the coin's condition, and any relevant historical or provenance information. In summary, while the 1973 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark in fine condition might be the valuable coin, it's certainly one that attracts interest from collectors. Its value in today's auction market shows us that even uncommon coins can hold more big worth, especially if they're in demand among collectors. Do you have a 1973 Lincoln penny without a mint mark sitting in your collection? Have you checked its condition and potential value? Next up, we're exploring one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the 1942 Montello Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark. Before we jump into its market value today, let's take a quick look at the historical significance of this coin. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel design. The obverse of the coin features a profile of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, while the reverse shows an image of Montello, his Virginia plantation home. But 1942 was no ordinary year for the Jefferson Nickel series. During World War II, there was a critical shortage of nickel, as the metal was in high demand for military purposes. This led to a transition in the composition of the coin, resulting in the famous war nickels, which were minted from 1942 to 1945 and contained silver instead of nickel. However, not all 1942 nickels were part of the war nickel series. In the early part of 1942, the United States Mint continued to produce nickels in their traditional composition, minus 75% copper and 25% nickel. These pre-war nickels do not have the distinct PD or S mint mark that was added later on to identify the silver content coins. Our focus today is on these early 1942 nickels without a mint mark, minted in Philadelphia before the transition to the wartime alloy. So what makes this particular coin so special to collectors today? First, let's talk about its condition. The coin we're discussing is in extra fine XF condition. This means it has slight wear on its high points, but the details remain well defined and sharp. The presence of fine lines in Jefferson's hair, the visibility of Montello's columns, and the overall clarity of the design make this a desirable piece. The grading system for coins is crucial when determining their market value. An extra fine XF coin like this one falls just below the about uncirculated and uncirculated grades. While it may not be in mint state condition, the fact that it has been so well preserved for over 80 years adds significantly to its worth. Now let's get to the exciting part: how much is this coin worth in today's collector market? The value of a 1942 Montello Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark can vary depending on its condition. For a coin in extra fine condition, the market value typically ranges from $100,000. This might seem highest. It's important to note that rare, high-quality examples can sell for much more, especially if they are part of a certified collection. Coins that have been professionally graded and certified by agencies like the Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) can fetch higher prices. A 1942 nickel in XF condition with an official certification could be valued at $120,000, depending on market demand and the coin's overall eye appeal. But here's where it gets interesting: prices for vintage coins like the 1942 Jefferson Nickel have been trending upwards recently. With growing interest in American history and numismatics, collectors are increasingly willing to pay a premium for well-preserved examples. This trend could see the value of this coin rise further in the coming years. In conclusion, the 1942 Montello Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark is a piece of American history representing a time of change and adaptation during World War II. Its base value might seem high at first glance. Its historical significance, condition, and potential for rare errors make it a coin worth holding onto. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, this coin can be a great addition to any collection. Next up, we are diving deep into one of the lesser-known treasures of American coinage, the Montello Jefferson Nickel from 1964, with no mint mark, featuring a distinctive green shade in fine condition. This coin might seem ordinary to some, but it holds surprising value for collectors today. If you're interested in uncovering the hidden potential and value of your coins, keep watching as we explore the history, rarity, and the growing collector demand for this specific 1964 nickel. First, let's get familiar with the coin itself. The Montello Jefferson Nickel, named after the famous home of Thomas Jefferson, has been in circulation since 1938. It was designed by Felix Schlag, featuring Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and the Montello on the reverse. The 1964 nickel without a mint mark is a standout piece for a few reasons, particularly for collectors who are keen on spotting unique varieties in special conditions. Interestingly, in 1964, the U.S. Mint produced a staggering number of these nickels, over 2.8 billion to be exact. Most of these were struck in Philadelphia, hence the lack of a mint mark, as the Philadelphia Mint did not add its mark to coins until later years. With such a high mintage, you might be wondering, what makes this coin special? Well, the answer lies in the coin's condition and its peculiar green shading. This 1964 nickel without a mint mark that we're focusing on has a fine condition grading, which means it has moderate wear but all major features are still visible. What truly sets this coin apart, however, is its unique green shading. This green hue isn't a result of the minting process but rather environmental factors. Over time, coins can undergo a process called oxidation, where the metals in the coin react with the air or moisture, creating a greenish tint. This type of toning can add a lot of visual appeal and uniqueness to a coin, making it more desirable to collectors. It's important to note that not all green shading is the same. Some shades can diminish a coin's value if perceived as damage, while others, like the one on our 1964 nickel, can enhance its appeal if the toning is even and aesthetically pleasing. So, let's get into the numbers. What is this coin worth today? A regular 1964 Jefferson nickel, in fine depending on market demand. But when you factor in the distinctive green shade and the coin's overall condition, things start to change. Collectors value uniqueness, and coins with attractive toning or rare coloration can see a significant price boost. The 1964 Montello nickel in fine condition with the green shading can sell anywhere from $190,000, depending on how desirable the shading is. The demand for toned coins has been growing in recent years, making these coins increasingly valuable to collectors seeking something different for their collection. However, it's essential to remember that market values can vary greatly. Some coins might not catch the eye of every collector, but others could be sold for a premium price if the right buyer comes along. In today's collector market, coins like this 1964 green-shaded nickel can stand out, and it's always worth getting a professional opinion or even sending your coin to a grading service to verify its uniqueness and condition. If you own a 1964 Montello Jefferson nickel, especially one with a distinctive color like the green shade, there are a few steps you can take to evaluate its value accurately. Examine the condition. Look at the wear on the coin. Fine condition means some details will be worn but should still be clear, especially on Jefferson's face and the Montello building. Analyze the toning. Assess the green shading carefully. Is it uniform across the coin or does it appear splotchy? A uniform, attractive toning will generally fetch higher prices. Check for errors or varieties. Some 1964 nickels have minor minting errors, such as double die varieties. While rare, these can add immense value to your coin. Consult with experts or use online resources to get a sense of current market values. Consider consulting with a coin dealer or utilizing online marketplaces to see what similar coins are selling for. Websites also offer valuable insights into coin grading and values. Consider professional grading. If you believe your coin is exceptional, send it to a reputable grading service. A graded coin with toning can command a much higher price in the collector market. In conclusion, while the 1964 Montello Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark might seem like an everyday coin to some, its collector value can be surprisingly high when certain factors like unique toning, overall condition, and demand come into play. This green-shaded nickel is an excellent example of how coins can become hidden gems in the market. Remember, coin collecting isn't just about owning currency, it's about owning history, rarity, and beauty. So always keep an eye on your collection. You never know when you might come across a piece that can shine brightly in the eyes of a collector. Next up, we have something special for you, a closer look at a classic American coin, the Montello Jefferson Nickel, specifically the 1949 version without a mint mark in very fine condition. You may have this coin in your collection, but do you know its true value in the collector's market today? If not, stay tuned because we're about to explore its history, unique features, and most importantly, its potential worth in dollars. Let's get started. Before diving into its market value, let's first understand what makes the 1949 Jefferson Nickel so unique. This particular coin was part of the Jefferson Nickel series that began in 1938, designed by Felix Schlag. The obverse features the iconic profile of President Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse displays the Montello, Jefferson's famous Virginia state. But what makes the 1949 Jefferson Nickel intriguing is its lack of a mint mark. A coin without a mint mark was produced in the Philadelphia Mint, and this particular version is becoming increasingly sought after among collectors. Let's take a look at what distinguishes the 1949 Jefferson Nickel from other years. Coins from 1949 without a mint mark were minted in relatively lower quantities compared to some other post-war years. This scarcity has contributed to its growing value, especially in very fine or better conditions. A very fine condition, often abbreviated as VF, is a grade that means the coin has light to moderate wear on the high points, but all major design elements are still clear and legible. For the 1949 no mint mark nickel, this means Jefferson's hair and Montello's details are visible but slightly worn. Now, let's talk numbers. What is the value of a 1949 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in today's collector market? The answer depends on its condition. For a very fine condition coin, you're looking at a price range of $80,000. But why is this coin worth so much? The answer lies in its historical significance and relative scarcity. Although millions of these nickels were minted in 1949, finding one in very fine or better condition today is more challenging. Over time, circulation has caused many to lose their original details, and finding an example with sharp features and minimal wear has become increasingly difficult. Additionally, the historical context of the late 1940s adds to the appeal of this coin. This was a period of economic transition in the United States after World War II, and coins from this era represent an important chapter in American history. So what factors should you consider when determining the value of your 1949 Jefferson Nickel? Condition grade, as mentioned, a coin's grade dramatically impacts its value. Coins in very fine condition or higher are more desirable to collectors. Luster and eye appeal, the natural shine of the coin, and overall visual appearance can make a huge difference in price. Market demand fluctuates, and right now vintage Jefferson nickels are seeing increased interest among collectors. Rarity of no mint mark. Because Philadelphia minted coins from 1949, this factor also boosts its value. Knowing these elements will help you gauge how much your coin might be worth. Now let's talk about the current collector market. The demand for Jefferson nickels, especially those from the mid-20th century, has been on the rise. Collectors are increasingly looking to complete sets with high-quality coins, and this means the value of coins like the 1949 no mint mark nickel is steadily appreciating. If you're a seller, this might be the perfect time to list your coin. Online marketplaces like eBay have shown consistent sales for 1949 Jefferson nickels, and specialized coin auctions could yield even higher returns. But remember, selling directly to collectors or through a reputable coin dealer can sometimes offer the best price. Here are some quick tips if you're looking to evaluate or sell your 1949 Jefferson nickel. Get it graded. A professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC can provide a reliable grade, increasing its value and credibility. Check recent sales. Look at recent sales on platforms like eBay to understand the current market price. Consult with a dealer. A trusted coin dealer can offer insights and help you determine the best-selling strategy. Don't rush the process. Make sure to research thoroughly to get the best value for your coin. In conclusion, the 1949 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark is a valuable piece of American numismatic history. In very fine condition, it can be big worth, and in higher grades, its value increases significantly. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this coin is a great addition to any collection. Next up, we're diving into a truly interesting coin, the 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark, featuring a unique black shade. What makes this coin so special, and what could its value be in today's collector market? Let's explore. First, let's talk about the wheat penny itself. Issued from 1909 to 1958, these pennies are a favorite among coin collectors due to their historic value and iconic design. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the wheat penny features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse with 2 wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity. For many, the wheat penny is one of the most familiar and cherished coins in U.S. During World War II, pennies were made from different materials due to copper shortages. By 1945, the United States returned to using copper, producing billions of these coins, which makes many of them common, except for certain rare versions like the one we're discussing today. Now, the 1945 wheat penny is part of this copper era, minted in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin we're focusing on today is the version without a mint mark, meaning it was produced in Philadelphia. Philadelphia did not add a mint mark to their pennies during this period, making it standard for the location. A key feature of this specific 1945 wheat penny is the black shade, which makes it stand out. This is not an intentional minting feature but is usually a result of environmental exposure over the decades. The blackening can occur due to oxidation, storage conditions, or chemical exposure. While this does not increase the intrinsic value of the copper itself, collectors are often fascinated by coins that have taken on unusual appearances. The coin's darkened patina, especially on a wheat penny that's nearly 80 years old, gives it a unique aesthetic appeal. This can actually intrigue collectors who are looking for pieces with a story to tell something beyond the typical penny you'd find in circulation. Now, when we talk about the condition of this coin, we're grading it as fine. A coin in fine condition will show considerable wear, especially on the high points like Lincoln's face and the wheat ears. However, all the design elements should still be visible, though softened with wear. For collectors, condition plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. A coin that is well worn and classified as good or about good would have a lower market value compared to one in fine or very fine condition. So while our coin is not in mint state, its fine condition is still respectable for its age. Now let's get to what you're really here for: the current market value of this 1945 wheat penny in fine condition. In the collector market, the typical 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition usually ranges $385,000. However, there's a twist. This particular coin has a unique selling point: that intriguing black shade. Coins that feature unusual coloration, such as this darkened or black patina, can sometimes fetch a premium depending on the collector's interest. So, how can you maximize the value of your 1945 wheat penny with its black shade? First, presentation is key. If you're selling online, make sure to take high-quality photos that clearly show the coin's blackened appearance. Highlight this as a unique feature in the description. Second, attend coin shows or visit local coin shops where you can interact directly with collectors who might appreciate this specific look. Sometimes an in-person sale gives you the opportunity to tell the story behind the coin's appearance, which can help justify a higher price. The 1945 wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition may be the rarest or most valuable coin on the market. Its unique black shade gives it character and can draw the attention of collectors who appreciate unusual pieces. In today's market, this coin could fetch a premium if you find the right buyer who values its visual appeal and the history behind it. Next up, we're diving deep into a fascinating coin that many collectors overlook: the 1964 Lincoln cent, specifically the one without a mint mark and with some unique features. If you have a 1964 penny lying around, especially one with some black spots on the reverse side, you might be in for a pleasant surprise. This coin, even in fine condition, could hold a significant value in today's auction market. So let's get started and uncover what makes this penny stand out. The 1964 Lincoln cent was minted in large quantities. Over 2.6 billion coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint alone. But what sets some of these pennies apart are subtle variations and condition issues that can make them highly desirable for collectors. One such variation is the appearance of black spots or discoloration on the reverse side. While typically seen as a flaw, in the world of numismatics, unique flaws can sometimes boost the coin's value. First, let's talk about the coin's specifications. The 1964 Lincoln cent is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a reddish-brown hue when in mint condition. However, the composition can also lead to various oxidation and toning issues over time. The lack of a mint mark indicates that it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't start using a P mint mark on cents until 1980. Host now, why is a 1964 Lincoln cent with black spots on the reverse gaining attention? These black spots are usually caused by environmental exposure or improper storage, but in numismatics, certain imperfections can become points of interest, adding character to a coin and sometimes even making it a conversation piece. You might be thinking, why would anyone want a coin with black spots? Well, it's all about rarity and collector interest. While the majority of 1964 Lincoln cents are relatively common and can be found in circulation, finding one with distinct black spotting in fine condition is less typical. This makes it an appealing find for collectors who seek out coins with unique visual appeal or unusual patterns caused by aging. Over the last few years, coins like the 1964 Lincoln cent, even with discoloration or black spots, have shown surprising results at auctions. In recent auctions, a 1964 Lincoln cent in fine condition with unique black spotting has fetched anywhere between $110,000, depending on the prominence of the spots and the overall eye appeal of the coin. This is quite impressive for a penny that would otherwise only be worth its face value. Now, let's talk a little bit about condition. When we say fine condition, what does that really mean for a 1964 Lincoln cent? In coin grading, fine condition indicates a coin that is moderate wear. But the design elements are still clear and distinct. It's not in mint or near mint condition, but it's far from being poor quality. The black spots, in this case, don't significantly detract from the coin's value. They add an interesting element that some collectors specifically look for. If you want to get your coin professionally evaluated, consider sending it to a reputable coin grading service. A professional grade and certification could further boost its appeal and value, especially if the black spots are considered to add character to the piece. If you have a 1964 Lincoln cent with black spots on the reverse, and you're curious about its value, your best bet is to check recent auction listings or visit a local coin dealer. Online platforms like Heritage Auctions or Great Collections are excellent places to list such coins, as they attract serious collectors who are looking for unique variations. When listing your coin for auction, be sure to include high-quality photos showing the black spots clearly and describe the coin's condition accurately. Mention if the coin has been graded or if there are any other unique features that could set it apart. The more information you provide, the more likely you are to attract interested bidders. So there you have it, the 1964 Lincoln cent, without a mint mark, featuring black spots on the reverse side, can indeed be worth more than you'd expect. It could certainly bring in a nice sum, especially if it has some of those unique characteristics that set it apart. Coins like these remind us that value isn't just about rarity, it's also about uniqueness, historical interest, and collector appeal. Next up, we're diving into the fascinating world of the Montello Jefferson Nickel, specifically the 1954 version without a mint mark in very fine condition. What makes this coin so special and why is it commanding attention in the collector's market today? Let's uncover its history, details, and current value. The Jefferson Nickel series has a rich history dating back to 1938 when it first replaced the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse or head side and his famous estate, Montello, on the reverse or tails side. The 1954 Jefferson Nickel is a notable coin from the series. During that year, the United States Mint produced these nickels in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin we're focusing on today is the one without a mint mark, which means it was minted in Philadelphia. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint are unique in this series since, until 1980, they did not carry a mint mark at all. Let's dive into the characteristics of this coin. The 1954 Montello Jefferson Nickel is made of a copper-nickel alloy, which means it's composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters and a thickness of 1.95 millimeters. The coin features a plain edge, and it weighs approximately 5 grams. In terms of design, the obverse shows a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States, along with the inscription "In God We Trust" on the left and "Liberty" with the year 1954 on the right. The reverse features the classic image of Montello, Jefferson's Virginia state, with the words "E pluribus unum" above it and "United States of America" along the bottom. Just above Montello, you'll find the denomination 5 cents. What's interesting about the Philadelphia minted 1954 Jefferson Nickel is that it was produced in relatively high numbers, about 47 million coins in total. However, due to wear and tear over the years, finding one in very fine or higher condition is not as common as you might think. Now, why is a 1954 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark in very fine condition attracting attention in today's collector market? The condition of the coin is crucial. For Jefferson Nickels, grades can range from good G4 all the way to mint state Mississippi 65 or higher. Very fine condition VF20 means there's moderate wear, but major details are still clear, especially the lines and roof of Montello and the lettering on both sides. This makes it desirable for collectors who appreciate well-preserved coins from this era. Historical significance. As rare as some older coins, the 1954 Jefferson Nickel has historical significance as part of the post-World War II era, representing a period of economic growth and stability in the U.S. Demand in the collector market. There's a growing interest in completing Jefferson Nickel series collections. Because Philadelphia minted coins lack a distinguishing mint mark, they're often the missing pieces for enthusiasts who seek mint-specific sets. Aesthetic appeal. The design itself, which remained unchanged until 2003, is an iconic representation of American coinage. The crisp, clear details of Montello and Jefferson's portrait make this coin visually appealing even to non-collectors. Now, let's talk numbers. As of today, the 1954 Jefferson Nickel, without a mint mark, in very fine VF20 condition, is valued differently depending on the demand and availability. In very fine condition, this coin typically ranges from $195,000. It might seem like a lot. Remember that this is for a coin in very fine condition. The price increases significantly as the grade improves. It's important to note that some 1954 Jefferson Nickels with unique errors, like double die strikes or off-center prints, can command premium prices, so why should you consider adding a 1954 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark in very fine condition to your collection? Despite being as rare as some key date coins, it's a valuable piece of history, representing a mid-20th century era in American numismatics. It's also an affordable way to get started with Jefferson Nickels if you're a new collector, or if you're looking to complete a full set. This coin is not just about its metal value, it's about its historical, aesthetic, and collectible appeal. With the right care and preservation, these coins can maintain or even increase their value over time. Next up, we have something truly special for you, an intriguing piece of U.S. coinage history, the Montello Jefferson Nickel from 1963 with no mint mark. But this isn't just any ordinary 1963 nickel. We're taking a closer look at a unique variant with a distinct sea green shade and fine condition. We'll be diving deep into its features, rarity, and most importantly, its surprising market value in today's collector world. Before we get into the details of this rare 1963 nickel, let's take a step back and learn a bit more about its origins. The Jefferson Nickel series, first introduced in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel and has remained in circulation ever since. It features the profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Montello, on the reverse. This iconic design by Felix Schlag has become a staple of U.S. currency, and collectors around the world have developed a keen interest in certain years, variations, and mint marks within this series. The 1963 Jefferson Nickel is particularly notable for being among the last produced with this traditional design before the striking characteristics began to shift in later decades. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the lack of a mint mark on this coin signifies its place of origin, since Philly didn't use mint marks during that period. What makes this specific 1963 nickel truly special is its unique sea green shading. Over time, coins can develop different patinas and discolorations due to environmental factors, storage conditions, and metal compositions. In this case, the fine condition 1963 nickel has developed a greenish tint, which is unusual for Jefferson nickels made from the typical 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy. Such discolorations can actually increase a coin's desirability among collectors, as they add to the uniqueness and story of each individual piece. The sea green shade could be a result of chemical reactions, toning, or environmental exposure, making this particular coin stand out visually from its peers. While not an error coin, the unique toning elevates its status and can attract niche collectors who value aesthetically distinctive coins. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition of a coin, often referred to as its grade, plays a crucial role in determining its value. The coin we're focusing on today is in fine condition. In numismatic terms, fine means that while the coin shows some wear and tear, the overall details of Jefferson's hair and Montello are still visible, although not as sharply defined as in higher grades like very fine or extra fine. Even in fine condition, this coin's sea green shade gives it a unique appeal, distinguishing it from other 1963 nickels in similar grades. With this condition, the coin may show signs of moderate circulation wear, but the lettering, date, and key design elements are still legible and discernible, maintaining its collectability. Now, let's get to the exciting part. What is the market value of this unique 1963 Montello Jefferson nickel with the sea green shade? Typically, a 1963 Jefferson nickel, the sea green shade on this coin changes the game completely. Collectors often look for coins with unusual toning and distinct colorations, as these variations can add significant premiums to otherwise standard coins. Currently, a standard fine-condition 1963 nickel may not draw much attention, but this sea green variety can command higher prices in specialized markets. On online auction platforms and through private collectors, such toned coins can range in value from $200,000 or even more, depending on the buyer's interest. If the green shade is particularly vibrant and consistent, the value can rise significantly, potentially reaching up to $210,000 or higher in certain cases. If you own a Montello Jefferson Nickel with a similar green shade or any other distinct toning, you'll want to preserve its uniqueness. Here are a few tips to ensure that your coin retains its maximum value. Avoid excessive handling. The oils and dirt from your hands can alter the coin's surface and affect its unique patina. Store in a climate-controlled environment to prevent further discoloration or degradation. Store your coin in a stable environment with low humidity and minimal temperature fluctuations. Use protective holders. Place your coin in acid-free holders, flips, or slabs to minimize exposure to air and potential contaminants. The Montello Jefferson Nickel from 1963 without a mint mark is already a fascinating piece of U.S. numismatic history. With the addition of a distinct sea green shade and its fine condition, this coin can be an intriguing addition to any collection. Its market value might be sky high. It's the unique story and appearance that truly set it apart. If you're a collector, keep an eye out for coins with unusual toning, as these can often become valuable niche collectibles. And if you own one, be sure to store and handle it with care to maintain its distinctiveness. Next up, we're shining the spotlight on a true classic, the Montello Jefferson Nickel from 1953 without a mint mark. This coin, often overlooked, has garnered quite a bit of attention in the collector's market lately, especially if you find one in very fine condition with some unique features. So, if you're a collector or just curious about coin values, stick around. The Montello Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938, honoring Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The design features a left-facing portrait of Jefferson on the obverse and Montello, his historic home in Virginia, on the reverse. The 1953 issue is particularly worthy because it was minted during a period of economic growth in post-war America. This nickel was struck in a time when the United States was experiencing a transition in both coin design and the economy. As for the 1953 nickel without a mint mark, it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. This specific variety has become a favorite among collectors due to its historical significance and the artistic design that honors one of America's founding fathers. Now, let's talk about coin grading. Coins are graded on a scale from poor P to perfect mint state MS. A very fine VF coin has clear details with minor wear but still retains much of its original design. Collectors love very fine coins because they represent a balance between affordability and visual appeal. But what makes the 1953 Montello Nickel even more intriguing is the presence of black spots on the obverse. These spots can arise from a variety of factors, including improper storage or reaction with contaminants. While many collectors may shy away from coins with blemishes, unique features like these can also add character and story to a piece. So, what is the current market value of the 1953 Montello Nickel without a mint mark in very fine condition? Prices can vary significantly based on condition and demand. As of now, the market value for a very fine condition nickel depending on the specific characteristics of the coin. However, coins with notable blemishes or unique features, like our black spot example, can attract niche collectors who appreciate the quirks of a coin's journey through time. This means that, under the right circumstances, this nickel could fetch higher prices. Sometime it can ranges between $200,000 at auction or among dedicated collectors. If you're thinking about starting or expanding your collection, here are a few tips. First, always do your research. Know what you're buying and understand the current market trends. Utilize resources like coin catalogs, grading services, and online marketplaces. Secondly, pay attention to the condition of the coins. If you're looking for specific features like the black spots we discussed, be sure to inspect the coin closely, either in person or through high-quality images. Finally, engage with the community. Join online forums, attend coin shows, and connect with fellow collectors. They can provide valuable insights and might even have coins for trade. The 1953 Montello Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark is big worth more. It's a window into American history and a potential treasure for collectors. Whether you find one in very fine condition or discover a unique example with black spots, this coin holds a special place in the numismatic world. Next up, we're diving deep into a classic gem from the United States, the 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark, in red shade and very fine condition. If you're a collector or simply curious about what makes this coin special, stick around as we uncover its historical significance, market value, and why it's gaining attention in today's collector's market. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was produced from 1909 to 1958. It's called the wheat penny because of the wheat stalks on the reverse side, which symbolize the country's agricultural heritage. But why focus on this particular penny? Well, despite its limited mintage, not all 1956 pennies are created equal. Variations in condition and appearance can make all the difference, and today, we're spotlighting a coin that stands out due to its red shade and very fine condition. So what exactly is a red shade penny? When a coin is graded as red, it means that the copper surface has retained most of its original color and shine. This red luster fades over time, especially if the penny has been exposed to the elements. Most older pennies will turn brown, but those that keep their reddish tone are rarer and more sought after by collectors. In the case of this 1956 wheat penny, the red shade makes it a standout piece, especially in very fine condition. A very fine grade means the coin has light wear, but all major design elements are still sharp and visible. You'll notice the details in Lincoln's profile are crisp, and the wheat stalks on the reverse side are well defined. Now, let's talk about what you're really here for: the market value. How much is this 1956 wheat penny in red shade and very fine condition worth in today's collector market? As of today, these pennies are fetching more attention due to their scarcity in pristine, reddish condition. On average, a 1956 wheat penny in very fine condition, with no mint mark and retaining its red luster, can be valued $313,000. This may seem highest. Is the 1956 wheat penny in red shade worth adding to your collection? Absolutely. Especially if you can find one in very fine or better condition. It's the rarest wheat penny out there, and its unique red luster combined with a relatively good condition makes it a great piece for anyone building a collection of historic U.S. coins. Plus, these coins can continue to appreciate over time, particularly as interest in copper pennies increases. If you're lucky enough to find one with an especially vibrant red tone, you could potentially see its value rise even further in the coming years. The 1956 wheat penny without a mint mark, in very fine condition, and boasting that beautiful red shade, is a big and valuable part of American coin history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin is definitely worth a closer look. Next up, exploring the fascinating story behind the 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. You might have one of these coins lying around, but did you know that some of them could fetch big money in today's auction market? That's right, even a coin that seems ordinary could have a hidden value that surprises you. Now, let's get into why the 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark is of particular interest to collectors and how you can evaluate if yours is worth more than just a penny. First, let's take a look at the background of the 1974 Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny has been minted since 1909, replacing the Indian head cent. By 1974, the U.S. Mint was producing Lincoln cents in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. However, when you see a 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Unlike Denver and San Francisco, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on its coins during that time. When it comes to determining the value of a coin, condition is key. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor, P1, to perfect uncirculated, min 70. A coin in very fine, VF condition will have minor wear on high points, and most of the details should still be visible and sharp. In today's market, a very fine condition 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark might immediately seem like a high-value coin. However, due to factors like rarity, demand, and the occasional appearance of unique variations, even a coin in very fine condition can surprise you at auction. Several factors can influence the value of a 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark. These include condition grading. As mentioned, the better the condition, the higher the potential value. Coins in very fine condition can sell for higher than face value. Error varieties. Some 1974 Lincoln cents have notable errors, like double die obverses or off-center strikes. These errors are considered rare and can significantly increase a coin's value. Collector demand. The value of a coin is heavily influenced by how much collectors are willing to pay. Some collectors look for high-grade coins, while others might be interested in coins with unique errors. So what's the big deal about the 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark? Let's look at some actual auction prices. A typical 1974 Lincoln cent in very fine condition might sell for $68,000. However, there are instances where specific coins have been sold for much more. In recent auctions, we've seen some 1974 Lincoln cents without mint marks in very fine condition sell for as much as $70,000, depending on the buyer's interest. If your coin has some unique characteristic or error, that price could jump even higher. If you think you have a valuable 1974 Lincoln cent, there are a few steps you should follow. Examine the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to check for any unusual markings or errors. Get it graded. Consider sending your coin to a reputable grading service. A professionally graded coin is more likely to sell for a higher value at auction. Research similar coins. Look at recent auction prices for similar coins. This will give you an idea of what your coin might be worth. List it on reputable auction sites. If you're ready to sell, list your coin on platforms. Make sure to provide clear images and detailed descriptions to attract potential buyers. In conclusion, 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark will be worth a lot. Certain coins with unique characteristics or high grades can command a premium in today's market. If you have one of these coins lying around, take a closer look. It might just be the hidden treasure you've been searching for. Well, you have a 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark in your collection. Share your stories in the comments below. Next up, we're diving deep into a wartime treasure that's been drawing a lot of attention in the collector's market, the 1944 Montello Jefferson Nickel with the S mint mark. If you're wondering why this seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin could hold a significant value in today's collector market, stay tuned, because we're about to explore its history, unique composition, and the factors that make it highly sought after. First, let's set the stage with a bit of history. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. The design, created by Felix Schlag, features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side, while his iconic estate, Montello, is depicted on the reverse. But why is the 1944 Jefferson Nickel so special? During World War II, the U.S. Mint faced a critical shortage of metals like nickel, which were essential for the war effort. To conserve resources, the Mint changed the composition of nickels between 1942 and 1945. These coins, known as wartime nickels, were struck with an alloy containing 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. The 1944 with S. Jefferson Nickel, minted at the San Francisco Mint, is a prime example of these wartime issues. While all Jefferson nickels from the wartime period have a distinct composition, those with the S mint mark are particularly noteworthy due to their lower mintage compared to the Philadelphia P and Denver D mints. Now let's talk about the unique characteristics of this coin. If you look closely at the reverse side, you'll notice a large S mint mark above Montello. This indicates that the coin was produced at the San Francisco Mint. Another way to confirm you have a wartime nickel is by its color. The 1944 S nickel often has a slightly grayish tint due to its silver content. Coins that have circulated heavily may also show a dirtier or duller appearance compared to the traditional nickel alloy. For collectors, the condition of the coin is extremely important, while a heavily circulated gray and dirty 1944 with S nickel might not look like much, it still holds significant value due to its silver content and historical significance. A coin in fine condition typically has clear details on both Jefferson's portrait and Montello, but may show signs of wear. So what about the value? This is where things get interesting. Because of its silver content, the 1944 with S. Jefferson Nickel has intrinsic value as a precious metal coin. However, its collector's value far surpasses its melt value. A typical 1944 with S nickel in fine condition might be worth around $250,000. However, the value can skyrocket depending on a few key factors. The 1944 with S is the rarest of the wartime nickels. It had a mintage of around 21 million, making it significantly scarcer than the 1944 with P with over 100 million minted. This adds to its collector appeal. Collectors are also on the lookout for any errors or varieties in these coins, such as doubled dies or repunched mint marks. Such errors can significantly boost the coin's value. Recently, there has been a surge in interest for wartime coins due to their historical significance, further driving up prices. Now, why should you consider adding a 1944 with S. Jefferson Nickel to your collection? Aside from its silver content, it's a piece of history from one of the most crucial periods of the 20th century. Owning a wartime nickel is like holding a tangible artifact from the WWII era, reflecting the country's efforts to support the war while maintaining its currency supply. Moreover, the potential for these coins to appreciate in value is quite promising. As fewer high-quality examples remain in circulation, demand for these coins is likely to grow over time. If you're lucky enough to own a 1944 with S. Jefferson Nickel or are considering purchasing one, here are a few tips to ensure you get the most value. Always evaluate the condition of the coin. Look for examples with minimal wear, strong details, and clean surfaces. While dirt and grime may be present on circulated coins, avoid those with major scratches or damage. Given the increase in counterfeit coins, it's essential to ensure your coin is genuine, especially when dealing with higher grades or rare varieties. Store your nickel properly. Using a coin holder or capsule can prevent further wear and maintain its condition. Keep an eye on the market trends. Prices for wartime nickels, especially the 1944 with S, can fluctuate based on the overall coin market and demand for silver. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the 1944 with S. Montello Jefferson Nickel is a fascinating piece to add to your collection. With its unique wartime composition, historical significance, and potential for appreciation, it's a coin that has captured the interest of collectors worldwide. What do you think of the 1944 with S. Jefferson Nickel? Do you have one in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Next up, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. History: the Montello Jefferson Nickel, specifically the 1960 with D mint mark, with a unique light green shade on the obverse side. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, we'll reveal why this coin has become a hidden gem in today's collector market and its surprising value in dollars. Let's start with a bit of history. The Jefferson Nickel was introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo Nickel, designed by Felix Schlag. The coin prominently features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side and his iconic home, Montello, on the reverse. The Jefferson Nickel was minted in different locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with the 1960 with D being one of the notable variants. These coins have a long-standing history of being favorites among numismatists due to their rich design elements and variations. The 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel, struck at the Denver Mint, is particularly intriguing for its peculiar color tones, striking design, and production variations that have caught the eyes of collectors worldwide. So, what makes the 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel with the light green obverse shades so special? First, let's talk about that distinctive light green hue on the obverse side. Over the years, certain nickels have developed unique colors due to their metal composition and exposure to different environmental conditions. The light green tint is often the result of the coin's metal alloy reacting to oxidation, creating a beautiful and unique patina. This gives the coin an almost antique-like appearance, distinguishing it from other 1960 with D nickels. This light green color is considered rare, and coins with such patina are highly sought after by collectors, as they can add a premium to the coin's overall value. When examining these coins, collectors look for uniformity in the color tone, ensuring it doesn't appear to be artificially enhanced or damaged. Next, let's delve into the significance of the D mint mark on this coin. The 1960 with D was struck in Denver, and millions of these nickels were produced that year. However, finding one in very fine condition, with such a unique green patina, is quite uncommon. In coin collecting, grading is crucial to determining value. The term very fine refers to a coin that shows moderate wear but still retains most of its design details, particularly on key areas like Jefferson's hair and facial features, as well as the details of Montello on the reverse. A very fine condition for the 1960 with D nickel means it's well preserved, making it a desirable piece for collectors looking for a high-quality addition to their collection. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the current market value of this fascinating 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel. The value of this coin depends on a few factors: its condition, unique color features, and collector demand. A standard 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel in very fine condition, but here's where it gets interesting. If you have a coin with that distinct light green patina, the value can jump significantly, as collectors are always on the lookout for coins with unique characteristics. A 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel with a light green obverse in very fine condition can range from $230,000, depending on the intensity of the color and the coin's overall eye appeal. And in some cases, if the color and condition are exceptional, collectors have been known to pay even higher premiums for this one-of-a-kind piece. So why is the 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel with a light green shade gaining popularity now? Over the past few years, the market for uniquely toned coins has grown rapidly. Collectors appreciate the rarity and beauty that these naturally occurring tones bring to their collections. Coins with unusual shades such as green, blue, or even purple have become the focal points of auctions and private sales. The 1960 with D nickel's light green patina makes it a prime example of this trend, contributing to its growing desirability and market value. Before we wrap up, let's talk about a few tips for those who might own or be looking to acquire this coin. If you're a collector looking to buy, always ensure you're purchasing from a reputable dealer or seller. Look for coins that have been certified by grading agencies, as this guarantees authenticity and helps in determining the exact grade of the coin. Be wary of artificially toned coins, as this can significantly affect their value. Natural patinas like the light green shade on our featured 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel are what collectors want, so authenticity is key. For those looking to sell, it's best to get your coin appraised, especially if it has a distinct color like the light green tone we discussed today. This will help you set a fair price and attract serious buyers. The 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel with a light green obverse is more than just a coin, it's a piece of history with unique characteristics that make it highly desirable in today's collector market. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the 1943's Montello Jefferson Nickel. This coin holds a significant place not only in American currency but also in the hearts of collectors. Let's explore its features, history, and current collector market value in detail. The year 1943 was a pivotal time in American history. The country was deeply involved in World War II, and this had a profound impact on the production of coins. The Montello Jefferson Nickel was minted during this time, and its design reflects a blend of tradition and the need for practicality in the wartime economy. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Montello Nickel features the profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his home, Montello, on the reverse. The 1943 with S mint mark signifies that this coin was produced at the San Francisco Mint, which is known for producing some of the highest quality coins during that era. Let's take a closer look at the specifications of the 1943 S Montello nickel. This coin is composed of a blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighing in at 5 grams with a diameter of 21.21 millimeters. The design of the coin has remained relatively unchanged since its introduction in 1938, but the 1943 with S has unique attributes that collectors cherish. In terms of design, the obverse features the inscription Liberty along with the date and mint mark. The reverse showcases Montello along with the words E pluribus unum and 5 cents. The crisp details of the Montello are particularly striking when the coin is in very fine condition, which we'll discuss shortly. Now, let's talk about the collector market for the 1943 with S Montello nickel. Coins in very fine condition, which typically exhibit clear details and only minor wear, are in high demand among collectors. According to recent market trends, the value of a 1943 with S nickel in very fine condition can range from $240,000, depending on factors such as the coin's appearance, demand, and provenance. Interestingly, high-quality examples can fetch even more, particularly if they have been graded by reputable organizations. Speaking of condition, let's delve into what very fine condition means for coins. A very fine coin will have strong details with minimal wear on the high points of the design. In the case of the 1943 S Montello nickel, look for the definition in Jefferson's hair and the windows of Montello, which should be clearly visible without significant wear or damage. Collectors often rely on third-party grading services to authenticate and grade their coins, adding credibility and potentially increasing the coin's market value. Always check for clear mint marks and any unique features that can enhance the coin's desirability. If you're considering adding the 1943 S Montello nickel to your collection, here are some tips. First, purchase from reputable dealers or trusted auction sites. Always examine the coin closely for its condition and authenticity. Store your coins in protective holders to prevent scratches and tarnishing and avoid cleaning them, as this can decrease their value. In conclusion, the 1943 with S Montello Jefferson Nickel is not just a piece of currency, it's a window into our nation's past and a treasure for collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, this coin deserves a place in your collection. Next up, we have a classic piece of U.S. currency to discuss the 1949 wheat penny without a mint mark. We're going to explore its history, what makes it unique, and most importantly, its collector value in today's market. So, let's get into it. Before we dive into the specifics of the 1949 wheat penny, let's talk a little bit about the wheat penny itself. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent, was produced from 1909 to 1958. This design was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, making it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. On the obverse, you'll find the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse features 2 wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America. This reverse design is where it gets its nickname, the wheat penny. So what's special about the 1949 wheat penny without a mint mark? When a coin has no mint mark, it indicates that it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark for pennies at the time. The key to its value lies in the condition of the coin, and today we're focusing on one in very good condition. So let's break that down. Grading plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. In coin collecting, condition is graded on a scale ranging from poor to mint state, with multiple levels in between. A 1949 wheat penny in very good condition would fall around a VG8 on this scale. Coins in very good condition will show significant wear, especially on high points like Lincoln's cheek and jawline, as well as the wheat stalks on the reverse. However, all of the major design elements should still be visible. In particular, the date "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" should be clearly legible. The wear should be even, with no major damage such as gouges or deep scratches. So, what is a 1949 wheat penny without a mint mark in very good condition worth in today's collector market? Due to the low mintage of the 1949 wheat penny, it's particularly rare. However, there's still a strong collector interest in wheat pennies as a whole, given their historical significance and the popularity of the Lincoln design. As of today, the typical market value for a 1949 wheat penny in very good condition ranges $319,000. This might seem highest. If you have any 1949 wheat pennies, check their condition, because better preserved examples could fetch a higher price in the collector market. And remember, 1909, the true value of a coin is often about. Next up, we're diving deep into a special piece of American coinage, the 1963 with D. Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might seem like just another old penny, but this coin has some unique characteristics that make it highly sought after by collectors today. We'll be exploring its history, design, grading, and most importantly, its current collector market value in fine condition. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting out, stick around, you don't want to miss this. Let's begin with a little history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's portrait. The design has remained largely unchanged, making the Lincoln cent one of the most iconic coins in American history. The 1963 Lincoln penny was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver. Today, we're focusing on the Denver minted version, denoted by the small d mint mark located below the year on the obverse side of the coin. This penny was produced in large quantities, over 1.7 billion to be exact, but don't let that high mintage number fool you. Certain qualities and conditions of this coin can drive its value up significantly. Let's talk about the design. The obverse features the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. If you take a closer look, you'll notice that the details in Lincoln's hair, face, and the bow tie are key indicators of the coin's overall condition. As for the reverse, it displays the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959 to replace the previous wheat ears design. If you look closely enough, you can actually see the tiny statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Coins that retain sharp and clear details, especially around Lincoln's face and the steps of the memorial, are highly prized. But in a fine condition, we can expect some slight wear on the high points of the design. This wear is normal and does not drastically impact the coin's value unless it's more pronounced. Now, when we talk about a 1963 with D penny in fine condition, what exactly do we mean? In the coin grading world, fine is a specific grade that indicates moderate wear, but with key details still visible. On the Sheldon scale, fine generally falls between F12 and F15, meaning there's some wear on Lincoln's cheek and jawline, and on the reverse side, the columns and steps of the memorial may show some smoothing. The fields or the flat areas of the coin might have a few scratches or marks, but nothing that detracts too much from its overall appeal. While a fine condition penny isn't the most pristine example, it's still quite desirable, especially when combined with other factors like mint mark and age. This is where the value starts to increase. Before we jump into market value, let's touch on a few things that could make your 1963 with D penny even more valuable: rare varieties and error coins. Certain errors like a double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks can add significant value to this coin. For example, a double die error on the obverse might show doubling in the lettering or the date, making it an exciting find for collectors. So, if you suspect you have an error coin, make sure to have it evaluated by a professional grading service. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, the current collector market value of the 1963 with D Lincoln cent in fine condition. As of today, this penny's value can vary depending on the demand and interest among collectors. In a typical market, a 1963 with D Lincoln penny in fine condition generally sells for around $100,000. You might think that's much. Here's why it still holds value. The real interest for collectors comes when they're looking to complete a set of Lincoln pennies, especially from the 1960s era. Completing a set with coins from all the different mints and in consistent grades is no easy task. And the 1963 with D penny plays a crucial role in achieving that. It serves as an essential piece for enthusiasts working on a full Lincoln collection. What exactly influences the value of this coin? First, overall condition is key. Coins with fewer blemishes or signs of wear will naturally command higher prices. Second, rarity plays a role. While billions were minted, fewer coins have survived in good condition, especially after over 60 years of circulation. And finally, market trends also matter. When interest in Lincoln cents increases, prices can rise. Is the 1963 with D penny worth investing in? It may make you rich overnight. It's a solid entry-level coin for new collectors and a great addition to any Lincoln cent collection, given its age, mint mark, and historical significance. It's a piece that will always have a place in American numismatics. Plus, who knows? Coins like these have been known to increase in value over time, especially as high-quality specimens become harder to find. So, there you have it. The 1963 with D Lincoln penny might be the valuable coin out there. It's a fascinating piece with a rich history and a steady value in the collector's market. If you have one in fine condition, you've got yourself a little piece of American history that many collectors are still hunting for today. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the Montello Jefferson Nickel, minted in 1978 without a mint mark. But there's more to this coin than meets the eye. With its unique black shade and fine condition, this nickel has sparked interest in the collector market, making it a highly sought-after piece. So what makes this 1978 Jefferson Nickel so special? And what is its current collector value today? Stay tuned to find out. Before we delve into the current market value, let's take a step back and understand the history of this iconic nickel. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, features the profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. Designed by Felix Schlag, it has remained a staple in American coinage for over 80 years. The 1978 nickel was minted during a period when the United States was transitioning between various economic phases, which can sometimes affect the metal quality and overall appearance of the coins. The 1978 Monticello Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark, was exclusively minted at the Philadelphia Mint. Like other coins from this period, it was struck in a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel. The absence of a mint mark indicates its origin, as Philadelphia traditionally did not use a mint mark for nickels until recent years. Diameter 21.2 mm. Weight 5 grams. Metal composition 75% copper, 25% nickel. Mint Philadelphia, no mint mark. Year 1978. Now let's talk about what sets this particular Jefferson nickel apart: its distinct black shade. This dark coloration can occur due to environmental exposure or toning over time. Some collectors find such naturally toned coins highly appealing because each one is unique in its appearance. In the case of the 1978 Jefferson nickel, a black shaded version in fine condition can increase its attractiveness to collectors looking for distinctive pieces. But what exactly is fine condition? When we grade coins, the term fine refers to a piece that has moderate wear but still retains a clear and distinct profile of Jefferson and Monticello. This grade is below very fine or extremely fine but still holds value, especially if the coin has other unique features like unusual toning or coloration. Now, the question we've all been waiting for: what is the collector value of the 1978 Jefferson nickel in today's market? However, add in that black shade and you have a coin that stands out from the crowd. In today's collector market, a black shaded 1978 Jefferson nickel in fine condition can see its value increase depending on how distinct and appealing the toning is. While these coins are considered rare, collectors who specialize in toned or uniquely colored nickels might pay between $130,000 for such a piece. In exceptional cases, where the toning is particularly eye-catching or uniform, the price can go even higher. There are several factors that can influence the value of your 1978 Jefferson nickel. First, the intensity and uniformity of the black shade play a major role. The more eye-catching and well-distributed the toning, the higher the value. Second, the overall condition of the coin is critical. Even if it's in fine condition, any additional scratches or damages can lower its desirability. Finally, the coin's demand in the market is also key. Toned coins tend to fluctuate in value depending on current collector trends. So, should you sell your black shaded 1978 Jefferson nickel now or hold on to it? If you're a collector who values unique toning patterns, this coin is definitely a keeper. However, if you're looking to cash in on its collector appeal, it might be worth listing it on auction sites or contacting a specialized coin dealer to see if there's interest. And there you have it. The 1978 Monticello Jefferson nickel, with its unique black shade and fine condition, may not make you a millionaire, but it's a fascinating piece with a niche appeal in the numismatic world. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, remember that the value of a coin is often more than it's about the history, the story, and the uniqueness it brings to your collection. Next up, we're taking a closer look at a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance but holds significant value for collectors: the 1962 Jefferson nickel with D mint mark and green spots on both sides. This coin, even in fine condition, can be a remarkable addition to any collection, and today we're going to discuss why it stands out and explore its value in the current collector market. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive in. First, let's talk about the history of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been minted since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It features a profile of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's home, on the reverse. The 1962 Jefferson nickel was struck in an era when the U.S. Mint was producing millions of these coins each year, but what makes the 1962 with D Jefferson nickel particularly interesting is its historical context and unique features. During the 1960s, the mint was primarily focused on creating coins for circulation, which means they were produced in large numbers, but attention to detail wasn't always consistent. As a result, many coins from this era, like our 1962 with D, can have flaws or unique characteristics, such as the green spots found on both sides of some coins due to chemical reactions over the years. Now let's zoom in on the characteristics of this specific coin. The 1962 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint. In terms of composition, it's made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. One of the key aspects that draws collectors to this coin is its mint mark and the conditions it's been through. If you're holding a 1962 with D Jefferson nickel with green spots on both sides, you're seeing the result of what numismatists call environmental damage or toning. The green spots are typically caused by the copper component of the coin reacting with moisture or other chemicals over time, leading to a patina that can range from subtle to quite pronounced. While toning in spots can sometimes lower the value of a coin, there are collectors who find such imperfections appealing, adding to the coin's character and uniqueness. Before we talk about value, it's important to discuss the condition or grading of your coin. In the coin collecting world, grading is key to determining value. The 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel you have is described as being in fine condition. This means that while the coin has seen some wear in circulation, most of the main details are still visible, and the date, mint mark, and major design elements are legible. For a 1962 with D. Nickel, a fine grade indicates that Jefferson's hair might have worn down a bit, and Monticello's details could be slightly flattened. Nonetheless, the overall appearance is still appealing, making it a desirable piece for many collectors, especially when we factor in those unique green spots, which can be a topic of fascination in their own right. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for: the market value of the 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel. The value of this coin can vary depending on the buyer's interest, but we're seeing a growing market for nickels from this period, particularly those with interesting characteristics like yours. As of today, a standard 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel in fine condition without any special features value, primarily due to its age and historic significance. However, coins with environmental toning like green spots can sometimes fetch a higher price depending on the visual appeal and the interest of collectors who specialize in toned coins. In today's market, a 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel with green spots in fine condition can be valued anywhere from $190,000. Some numismatists may pay a premium if they find the toning patterns particularly attractive or if the coin has a distinct story to tell. Always remember, the coin's value isn't just about the material, there's also an emotional and historical value that can influence its price. So why would a collector want a 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel, especially one with green spots? The answer lies in the unique imperfections and history behind the coin. Collectors often look for coins that stand out, something that tells a story or breaks away from the standard. For a Jefferson Nickel enthusiast, a 1962 with D with environmental damage may represent the passage of time and the impact of the elements on a coin's composition. The green spots may not be considered a flaw, but rather a testament to the coin's journey over the past 60 years. Coins like this one are conversation starters and can be a centerpiece of a collection focusing on the effects of natural toning and patination. If you're considering adding a 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel to your collection, or if you're looking to invest in these types of coins, here are some tips. Check the condition. Even with unique toning or environmental effects, overall condition matters. Ensure the date and mint mark are still legible and the details are clear. Verify authenticity. Make sure the coin is authentic, especially if you're buying it from an online source or a private seller. There are many replicas on the market, so it's essential to verify what you're purchasing. Understand market trends. The value of coins can fluctuate based on collector interest and trends. Keep an eye on auction sites and coin shows to understand current demand for Jefferson Nickels. Store properly to preserve the unique green spots and prevent further environmental damage. Store your coin in a cool, dry place and consider using a holder that protects it from moisture. In conclusion, the 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel is a fascinating piece of U.S. numismatic history. It may have the highest value compared to other rare coins. Its unique characteristics like green spots and the story it tells make it a worthwhile addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, this coin is a reminder that even the smallest details can make a big difference in the world of coin collecting. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification for never miss an update. Next up, we're taking a closer look at the Monticello Jefferson Nickel from 1989, featuring the P mint mark. But not just any ordinary nickel, this one has a distinctive gray shade and is in very fine condition, making it a potential gem in today's collector market. Let's dive into the history of the coin, its unique characteristics, and most importantly, how much it's worth today. Before we get into the value, let's discuss the history and design of this beautiful coin. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag and features the profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse front side and his iconic estate, Monticello, on the reverse back side. The 1989 with P. Jefferson Nickel was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark located just to the right of the coin's date on the obverse. This particular nickel is made from a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving it a distinctive silvery appearance with a slight gray tint. This grayish tone often develops over time due to environmental factors, adding to its unique charm. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 800 million Jefferson nickels, making it a common issue. However, not all nickels are created equal. Coins in very fine condition with unique shading, like the one we're discussing today, are more desirable among collectors. The term very fine in numismatics refers to a coin that has moderate wear but still retains most of its original details. On a Jefferson nickel, this means you can still see the details in Jefferson's hair, the cheekbones, and the pillars of Monticello are sharp but slightly worn. Collectors seek these coins because they offer a balance between affordability and preservation of design. Now, let's talk about the factors that can influence the value of the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel in today's collector market. There are several key aspects to consider. Condition and grading as mentioned earlier. Our featured coin is in very fine VF condition. Coins that are graded higher, such as extremely fine XF, about uncirculated AU or mint state Mississippi, will naturally command higher prices. However, very fine coins still hold considerable value, especially if they possess unique toning or eye appeal. Gray shade and toning. The gray shade on this 1989 P nickel can be a significant factor. Natural toning or color variation due to exposure to the environment over the years can make a coin stand out. Collectors often look for these visually distinct coins as they can add variety to their collections. Rarity of mint errors. While the 1989 with P nickel is generally a common coin, specific mint errors such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or double dies can drastically increase its value. Always examine your coin closely to see if it has any errors that make it unique. Now, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for: the market value of the 1989 P. Jefferson nickel in very fine condition with that distinctive gray shade. Currently a regular 1989 with P. Jefferson nickel in circulated condition. However, coins in very fine condition like ours typically sell for higher. Depending on the buyer's interest and the appeal of the coin's appearance, if you have a coin that displays particularly attractive toning or a unique gray shade, the value can jump even higher, as collectors might be willing to pay a premium for its aesthetic appeal. Such coins can sell anywhere from $130,000 and in some cases with exceptional toning, they can reach $140,000 or more. On online auction sites or at coin shows, you might see these coins listed with asking prices in the $150,000 range, especially if the seller believes the coin has some numismatic potential. Always remember, though, that a coin's true value is determined by what a collector is willing to pay at any given time. So what does this mean for you as a collector or hobbyist? If you have a 1989 P. Jefferson nickel in very fine condition, it's worth holding on to it, especially if it has unique characteristics like the gray shade we mentioned. It might make you rich. It could become a valued piece in your collection or even gain more value over time as interest in specific coin varieties and tones increases. If you're looking to sell or trade, try listing your coin on reputable platforms like eBay or reaching out to local coin dealers or collectors clubs. Make sure to have clear, high-quality images of your coin to showcase its condition and unique features. The more information and visual appeal you provide, the better your chances of attracting serious buyers. Next up, we're diving deep into a fascinating coin that has captured the interest of collectors worldwide: the 1957 wheat penny with the D mint mark. What makes this coin even more special is its unusual silver shade and the fact that it's in very fine condition. So, let's talk about its current market value, the key details about the coin, and why it's generating buzz among collectors. Before we get into its market value, let's first explore the history of the 1957 wheat penny. This coin is part of the Lincoln wheat penny series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. The D mint mark indicates that this particular coin was minted in Denver. Now, if you know your wheat pennies, you're probably asking, wait a minute, weren't these coins supposed to be copper? Yes, you're absolutely right. Typically, wheat pennies minted during this era were made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. So, why does this 1957 with D mint mark penny have a silver shade? Well, this is likely due to a mint error, where the coin was either struck on an improperly plated planchet or subjected to some kind of chemical treatment post-minting. Such errors, especially when the coin remains in very fine condition, are highly sought after by collectors who love unusual varieties. While this silver shading isn't an official minting standard, it certainly adds to the appeal of this particular coin. So what does it mean when we say this coin is in very fine condition? Coin grading is crucial when determining value, and very fine means that while the coin has seen some circulation, it has retained a lot of its original detail. For instance, on this 1957 with D mint mark penny, you'll notice that Lincoln's face and features are still sharp, with some light wear but nothing that obscures key details. The wheat stalks on the reverse are still visible and clear, though they may show some wear on the high points. This level of preservation makes a huge difference in value, as a lower grade would significantly reduce the coin's worth, while a higher grade would increase it even more. Now, the big question, what is this coin worth in today's market? As we mentioned earlier, a regular 1957 with D mint mark wheat penny is very fine condition. The price typically jumps to around $450,000 for collectors. Rarer coins like this silver-shaded wheat penny are always interesting to watch in the marketplace. While the 1957 with D-Mint Mark wheat penny is far from rare in its standard form, the unique coloring and very fine condition can make this particular coin stand out. Collectors who specialize in error coins or varieties are usually willing to pay more for pieces like this, especially since each error coin is unique. Rarity, in this case, is defined not by the year or mint, but by the minting mistake or post-mint treatment. So, why should you add this 1957 with D-Mint Mark silver shaded penny to your collection? Well, first off, it's a piece of history. As the wheat penny series came to an end in 1958, these coins symbolize a classic era of US minting. Plus, the oddity of having a coin that looks like it's silver when it's supposed to be copper is a great conversation starter. More importantly, coins like this hold appeal for both novice and seasoned collectors. They are accessible. You do need to spend a fortune to get your hands on one, but they also have the potential to appreciate in value, especially with the growing interest in error coins. The 1957 with D-Mint Mark wheat penny with its unusual silver shade and very fine condition may be the most expensive coin in the world, and it's certainly an intriguing and valuable addition to any collection. Whether you're a casual collector or a serious numismatist, keep an eye out for coins like this. They could surprise you with their value and uniqueness. Next up, we're diving deep into a small coin with a big story, the 1964 Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be surprised to know that a simple penny can hold significant value, especially when it's in a certain condition or has unique features that make it stand out. So what makes the 1964 Lincoln cent without a mint mark so special? And how much is it worth in the collector's market today? Let's find out. The Lincoln cent series is one of the most iconic coin designs in United States history, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side. This design was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln cent has undergone various changes over the years, but the 1964 Lincoln cent remains particularly interesting to collectors for several reasons. The 1964 penny without a mint mark was minted in Philadelphia. During this time, the Philadelphia Mint did not use a mint mark on its coins, which is why you'll find no P mark on these pennies. The year 1964 was also significant because it marked the end of the pre-1965 era, when coins still had their traditional compositions and designs before new laws changed the metallic content of several denominations. Now let's focus on the 1964 Lincoln cent without a mint mark and why it's interesting to collectors today. Typically, 1964 pennies were produced 2 billion coins. However, several factors can influence their value, such as condition, errors, and unique markings or discolorations. The coin we're talking about today has something intriguing: red spots. These spots are often the result of chemical reactions or exposure to moisture, creating a reddish-brown hue on the coin's surface. While red spots can sometimes lower the value of a coin, they can also make it more distinctive to some collectors looking for something unique in their collections. Grading is crucial when determining a coin's value. The 1964 Lincoln cent we're discussing today is in fine condition. This means it is moderate to heavy wear but still retains some of its design details. In fine condition, you'll notice that Lincoln's hair and cheekbones are visible but worn, and the lettering on the coin is readable but not sharp. While coins in fine condition aren't usually considered high-end collectibles, certain features, like the unique red spots on this coin, can make them more appealing. Now, what about the value? Typically, a 1964 Lincoln cent without a mint mark in average circulated condition. However, in fine condition and with unique characteristics like red spots, the value can increase. Now, let's get to the big question: how much is a 1964 Lincoln cent without a mint mark and with red spots worth in today's market? For collectors looking for unique or visually distinct coins, depending on how prominent the red spots are and if they create an aesthetically pleasing or interesting pattern, it's still possible to see values ranging from $79,000 or more, depending on the buyer's interest. In the world of numismatics, even small details like red spots can spark intrigue and drive value. What are some key factors that influence the value of this particular penny? Let's go through them. Condition. The coin's condition plays a pivotal role. A fine grade means the coin shows moderate wear, but if the red spots enhance its appeal, it can fetch a higher price. Unique features. The red spots on this coin are what make it stand out. If spots are uniform or create an interesting pattern, collectors may find it desirable. Market demand. Like any collectible, market demand fluctuates. If a group of collectors is particularly interested in Lincoln cents with unusual spots or toning, prices can surge. Provenance. History. Any historical information or provenance linked to the coin can also elevate its value. If the coin was part of a notable collection or has a unique backstory, it becomes even more valuable. In conclusion, while a 1964 Lincoln cent without a mint mark may seem like just an ordinary penny, unique characteristics like red spots can significantly increase its value for certain collectors. If you happen to have one of these coins, it's worth examining its condition and determining if the spots add to its visual appeal. If you're looking to sell or add one of these coins to your collection, it's always best to get it appraised by a professional numismatist. You never know, what seems like a simple penny in your pocket could end up being a prized collectible in the right hands. Next up, we're diving into one of the most intriguing pieces of American coinage history, the Montello Jefferson Nickel from 1964, featuring the D mint mark. What makes this coin so special, and why is it gaining significant attention in the collector's market? Well, stay tuned, because this coin has a unique story that might just surprise you. We'll explore the coin's history, its unique physical characteristics, and most importantly, its current collector market value in dollars. You'll have all the information you need to understand why this 1964 Jefferson Nickel, especially in fine condition with a distinct obverse maroon shade and a black shaded reverse, is turning heads among coin enthusiasts. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is part of a long-standing tradition that began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the Jefferson Nickel features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and an image of his Montello home on the reverse. The coin's production was significant during this period, as it was the final year before the U.S. Mint made changes to nickel coinage in response to metal shortages and economic conditions. 1964 was a critical year for the U.S. Mint, as they produced an enormous number of coins in anticipation of a looming silver coin shortage. Because of this, 1964 Jefferson nickels are common, but not all of them are created equal. Variations in the coin's condition, such as shades and toning, and the mint mark can make certain specimens much more desirable to collectors. Now, let's get into what makes this particular 1964 Jefferson Nickel so unique. The coin in question has D mint mark, indicating it was minted at the Denver Mint. While most Jefferson nickels from this era have a standard finish, your coin has two distinct characteristics. Obverse maroon shade. The obverse side of the coin, which features Thomas Jefferson's profile, has developed a rich maroon shade over time. This toning can be the result of various factors, such as exposure to certain chemicals, moisture, or the natural aging process of the metal. Toning can significantly enhance the aesthetic appeal and desirability of a coin, especially if the color is evenly distributed and adds contrast to the design details. Reverse black shade. On the reverse side, where we see the depiction of Montello, the coin has a striking black shade. This dark toning could be due to similar environmental factors or the result of the coin being stored in an environment that caused this unique coloring to develop. Such two-tone coins, where the obverse and reverse differ significantly in color, are quite rare and add a fascinating dimension to the coin's appearance. The coin's condition is another critical factor to consider. The one we're discussing today is in fine condition. For those new to coin grading, this means that while the coin has seen some wear and tear, most of the major details on the coin's design are still visible. There's a noticeable softness in some areas, especially in Jefferson's hair and the finer details of Montello, but overall, the coin's appearance remains attractive. For the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, a fine condition rating is quite good considering that many of these coins were heavily circulated. So, what is the value of this 1964 Jefferson Nickel with D mint mark and its unique toning in today's collector market? Given the coin's unique characteristics and condition, its value can vary widely. Let's break it down. The base value of a 1964 Jefferson Nickel, even in fine condition, is generally low. Value with unique toning, however, when we factor in the unique obverse maroon and reverse black shading, the coin's value can increase significantly. Toning that enhances a coin's visual appeal can make it highly sought after among collectors. Depending on the buyer's interest, this can push the value into the $200,000 range or even higher. Value with D mint mark. The D mint mark doesn't add significant rarity to the 1964 Jefferson Nickel, as many were produced at the Denver Mint. However, the combination of the D mint mark, fine condition, and unique toning can appeal to collectors who focus on acquiring coins with special aesthetic qualities. Current market trends as of today: the value of a 1964 Jefferson Nickel in fine condition with D mint mark and special toning can range from $220,000 or more, depending on the collector's willingness to pay for the coin's unique appearance. Is the 1964 Jefferson Nickel a good investment? For those who appreciate coins with unique toning and aesthetic appeal, this coin can certainly be a valuable addition to a collection. Its investment potential, however, lies more in its visual characteristics than its rarity or historical significance. If you own a 1964 Jefferson Nickel with similar attributes, it's worth considering having it professionally graded and authenticated. This can provide a more accurate assessment of its value and increase buyer confidence should you decide to sell it. Next up, we're diving into one of the most intriguing coins for collectors, the 1960 Jefferson Nickel with the Denver D mint mark. This coin, often overlooked by many, holds fascinating historical significance and is currently gaining attention in the numismatic world. But why is this particular nickel getting so much buzz? What makes it valuable? And just how much is it worth in today's collector market? Let's explore all of that and more right here, right now. First, let's start with a little background on the Jefferson Nickel series. The Jefferson Nickel was introduced back in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel. The design features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, on the obverse front and his iconic home, Montello, on the reverse back. This design remained unchanged until 2004, making the Jefferson Nickel series one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coin history. Now, the 1960 Jefferson Nickel specifically has its own set of unique attributes. It was minted during a time when the U.S. was experiencing significant economic changes. This coin was produced in large quantities, but not all of them were created equal. The 1960 Jefferson Nickel with the Denver Mint mark, represented by a small D under the year, has become a desirable piece for collectors. So what's so special about the 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel? Well, the Denver Mint produced approximately 192 million of these nickels in 1960. While that might sound like a large number, finding one in good condition, such as fine or higher, is more challenging than you might think. The D Mint mark signifies that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint, which often produced coins with subtle differences compared to those minted in Philadelphia or San Francisco. Interestingly, due to differences in die quality and minting processes at the Denver Mint, some 1960 with D Jefferson nickels feature sharp details and well-struck elements, making them highly sought after by collectors. Those that have been well preserved and remain in higher grades command a premium price in the collector market. Segment 3, Grading the 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel. Now let's talk about grading. If you're a collector, you know that the condition or grade of a coin plays a crucial role in determining its value. For this specific 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel, a coin in fine condition means it still has clear details but may show signs of wear, especially on the high points like Jefferson's hair and Monticello's dome. Obverse clear definition of Jefferson's face, especially around his cheekbone and jawline. Reverse look at the Monticello building. Are the steps visible? Is the word Monticello readable? If you've got a 1960 with D nickel with these details still intact, even in a fine condition, you could be looking at a coin with a solid value. All right, let's get to the part everyone's been waiting for, the value. In today's market, a 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel in fine condition can range from $58,000. Why? Because these coins are slowly gaining recognition as more collectors seek out high-quality examples. If you're lucky enough to have one in higher grades like extra fine XF or mint state MS, the value increases significantly. In mint state condition, with sharp details and a brilliant shine, depending on the specific grade and overall eye appeal. Additionally, nickels with unique errors or toning can command an even higher price. Some 1960 with D nickels with die cracks, off-center strikes, or full steps on the Monticello are considered premium collector items. You might be wondering, is this a coin worth collecting? The answer is absolutely. The 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel has the potential to become a valuable addition to your collection. As the interest in Jefferson nickels grows, so does the demand for well-preserved and high-quality pieces. Plus, since these coins are still relatively affordable compared to other rarities, it's a great opportunity to start or expand your collection without breaking the bank. Another reason to collect this coin is its historical value. The 1960s were a transformative period in American history, and owning a piece of that history, especially with a coin that bears witness to those times, is truly special. Tips for collectors and final thoughts if you're looking to invest or add to your collection. Here are a few quick tips. Check the condition. Always inspect the coin's condition before purchasing. Look for clear details, minimal wear, and no major scratches or dents. Verify authenticity. Be aware of counterfeits or altered coins, especially when dealing with higher grades. Consider professional grading. If you believe your 1960 with D Jefferson Nickel is in exceptional condition, consider getting it graded by a professional service. This can help authenticate the coin and potentially increase its market value. Next up, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the iconic wheat penny. And not just any wheat penny, we're talking about the 1958 with D Mint mark wheat penny with a silver shade in very fine condition. The wheat penny series is legendary among U.S. coin collectors. Minted from 1909 to 1958, these pennies were designed to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The reverse features two stylized wheat stalks, a nod to American agriculture. This design, created by Victor D. Brenner, is cherished by collectors worldwide. But why is the 1958 with D Mint mark wheat penny with a silver shade and very fine condition such a gem? And why is its value skyrocketing in today's collector market? The year 1958 marks the final production year for the wheat penny, making it special in its own right. The D-Mint mark signifies that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary mints for producing U.S. currency. What makes this wheat penny even more intriguing is its silver shade. While the penny is typically composed of copper, a silver-toned version could have resulted from a minting error or an experimental finish. This gives it a distinctive appearance, boosting its desirability among collectors. Finding one in very fine condition today is a rare feat. Let's talk condition. When we refer to a coin as being in very fine condition, we're describing a grade on the coin grading scale that sits just below extremely fine. A coin in this condition will show moderate wear, particularly on the highest points of the design, but it still retains most of its detail. The wheat stalks, for instance, are still visible but show some smoothing. For the 1958 with D-Mint mark wheat penny, finding one in this level of preservation is particularly noteworthy, especially with a unique silver shade. Now, let's get to what everyone wants to know. What is this 1958 with D-Mint mark wheat penny worth today? In the current market, rare and unique coins like this one have seen their values rise as collectors seek to complete their collections. The combination of its unique silver shade and very fine condition makes it highly sought after. On average, a standard 1958 with D-Mint mark wheat penny in very fine condition might be valued at $423,000. Why does this coin fetch such a high value in today's market? One word: rarity. The silver-toned variant is not something you come across every day. It's thought that only a limited number were minted, possibly as part of an error or a test run, making this penny a true treasure for collectors. Add to that its final year production status, and it's clear why this 1958 with D-Mint mark wheat penny holds such appeal. For those serious about building a complete collection of Lincoln wheat pennies, this coin is a must-have. Its uniqueness ensures that it stands out among the more common wheat pennies that were minted in much larger quantity. If you're looking to add one of these special 1958 with D-Mint mark wheat pennies to your collection, be sure to buy from reputable dealers or auction platforms. A coin in very fine condition should be carefully authenticated to ensure its grading and originality, especially with a unique feature like the silver shade. And as always, condition is key. Keep an eye out for coins that have been well preserved and display minimal wear. If you come across one in an even higher grade, such as extra fine or uncirculated, you could be looking at a significantly higher value. So there you have it, an in-depth look at the 1958 with D-Mint mark wheat penny with a silver shade in very fine condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this is one coin you'll want to keep an eye out for. Its unique combination of historical significance, rarity, and striking appearance makes it a truly valuable piece in the world of coin collecting. Next up, we're diving into a unique variant of one of the most well-known coins in U.S. history, the 1974 Lincoln cent. You might be thinking, what makes a common coin like this so special? Well, this particular cent has a few intriguing features that have caught the attention of collectors and are pushing its value higher in today's market. The Lincoln cent, first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has been an iconic part of American currency for more than a century. By 1974, the coin had undergone several changes in design and composition, but the obverse featuring the beloved 16th president remained largely unchanged. What makes the 1974 Lincoln cent distinct is not just its lack of a mint mark, but the subtle yet significant errors or variations on the reverse side. On this 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, the reverse side shows tiny cuts or irregularities that may appear insignificant at first glance. These small details can vary widely, from slight gouges near the columns of the Lincoln Memorial to minor planchet flaws around the rim. While these cuts are often caused by the minting process or environmental factors, they're more than just imperfections. They're the traits that set these coins apart for collectors. Condition is key when it comes to determining the value of any coin, and our coin today is in fine condition. This means that while the high points of the design may show some wear, the coin still retains a good level of detail and overall appeal. Collectors categorize fine condition as a mid-tier grade, which keeps it accessible for hobbyists while still being attractive to those looking to build or enhance their Lincoln collection. So, what's the big question on everyone's mind? How much is this coin worth today? Let's take a closer look at the current collector market value. The standard 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark, in fine condition, depending on the level of demand and the presence of any unique features. However, when there are visible errors or cuts like the ones on our coin, the price can increase significantly. In today's collector market, Lincoln cents with small die cuts, also known as die breaks or cut errors, are gaining more popularity. Depending on the severity of the cuts and the overall appeal of the coin, these variants can sell for anywhere from $95,000. In rare cases where the cuts are larger or more defined, prices can climb even higher. But why are collectors willing to pay a premium for such a common coin with just a few cuts? The answer lies in rarity and uniqueness. Each of these minor errors gives the coin a distinct character, making it stand out from the millions of other Lincoln cents minted that year. For dedicated collectors, owning a piece with these distinguishing features is like owning a small slice of history, complete with its own unique story. If you're looking to invest in or collect 1974 Lincoln cents with similar characteristics, here's a tip: keep an eye out for those tiny but telltale signs of minting errors. A jeweler's loupe or magnifying glass can help you spot these minor details. And remember, a coin that's well preserved, even in fine condition, can still hold significant value if it has unique features like the small cuts we've discussed today. In conclusion, the 1974 Lincoln cent without a mint mark may seem ordinary at first, but with a closer inspection and an understanding of its finer details, you might discover a hidden gem that can fetch a considerable value in today's collector market. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual coin collector, always take a moment to appreciate the history and subtle imperfections that make each coin truly one of a kind. Next up, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Jefferson Nickels. Our spotlight today is on a very specific coin, the 1963 Montello Jefferson Nickel with the Denver Mint D mark. But what makes this coin even more intriguing is a unique mint mark error. If you've got this coin in your collection or stumble upon one, you might be holding something of significant value. The 1963 with D Montello Jefferson Nickel is an iconic piece, not just because it's part of the Jefferson series, but because it's known for a variety of interesting mint errors, one of the most sought after being the D mint mark error. This anomaly, where the D mint mark appears doubled or misplaced, significantly boosts the coin's value in today's collector market. Before we dive into its current market value, let's take a moment to understand what makes this error so special. In the 1960s, the Denver Mint experienced issues with punch alignment and pressure consistency, leading to a variety of misstrikes. For the 1963 nickel, one of the most common errors is the D mint mark appearing slightly doubled, often referred to as a repunched mint mark or RPM. This means the mint mark was punched into the die more than once, causing a visible shift or doubling. This doubling can appear in several forms, such as a slight shadow next to the D or an entirely separate D overlapping the first. Because of the rarity and difficulty in spotting this error with the naked eye, these coins have become highly coveted among collectors, particularly when found in extra fine condition or better. Now let's take a closer look at the 1963 with D Jefferson Nickel. The obverse of the coin features a profile portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, with the motto "In God We Trust" on the left and the word liberty accompanied by the year 1963 on the right. The reverse depicts the iconic Montello Jefferson's estate with the words "E pluribus unum" above it and 5 cents United States of America and the D mint mark below. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, has a long history of minting high-quality coins. But, as with any large-scale production process, errors do occur. These errors are what give certain coins, like our 1963 with D Jefferson Nickel, their unique appeal and increased market value. So what's the big deal with this particular coin in today's market? Well, let's talk numbers. In average circulated condition, a standard 1963 with D nickel without errors is worth its $65,000, or slightly more to collectors. However, when it comes to the D mint mark error variety, the value jumps significantly, especially if the coin is in extra fine XF condition or higher. In extra fine condition, a typical 1963 with D Jefferson Nickel might fetch anywhere from $75,000, but with the mint mark error, these coins have been known to sell for $200,000 or even $400,000, depending on the clarity and prominence of the error. Recently, a 1963 with D Jefferson Nickel with a prominent repunched mint mark, graded as MS65 by a leading coin grading service, sold for an impressive $430,000 at a collector's auction. Such sales highlight the strong demand for this error coin, particularly among specialists in the Jefferson Nickel series. So what should you look for if you're on the hunt for this valuable coin? First, focus on the D mint mark under the Montello building. If you notice any doubling or misalignment, you might just have a rare error coin. Secondly, condition matters. Coins in extra fine or uncirculated condition will always fetch a premium, so try to keep your coins in the best shape possible. To truly know what your 1963 with D nickel is worth, consider having it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and provide an accurate grade, ensuring you get the best value when selling or trading your coin. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, the 1963 with D Jefferson Nickel with the D mint mark error is a coin worth looking out for. Its historical significance, combined with the rarity of the error, makes it a valuable addition to any collection. Next up, have a special coin to discuss, the 1977 Lincoln Memorial Penny without a mint mark, in fine condition. If you have one lying around, you might want to take a closer look. You could be holding onto a coin that has significant collector value. Let's explore why this particular penny is becoming a sought-after piece in the numismatic world and how much it's worth today. We're focusing on the 1977 Lincoln Memorial penny, specifically one without a mint mark. Many people think of this coin as just another ordinary penny, but there's more to it than meets the eye. This video will cover the history behind the 1977 Lincoln cent, how to identify it, and why it has gained significant attention in the collector market. The Lincoln Memorial cent was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design features Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The Lincoln cent without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not use a mint mark for its coins. In 1977, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these pennies. With so many in circulation, it might be surprising to hear that these coins can still be valuable. The key to understanding their value lies in the coin's condition, rarity in certain grades, and collector interest. When we say a coin has no mint mark, it means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as mentioned earlier. Unlike coins produced at other mints like Denver D or San Francisco CET, coins from the Philadelphia Mint were not marked with a distinguishing letter during that period. So if you have a 1977 penny without any letter beneath the year, it was minted in Philadelphia. When determining the value of a 1977 Lincoln cent, condition is crucial. The coin we're focusing on today is classified as being in fine condition. In the grading scale, a fine condition coin shows moderate wear. But all major design elements remain visible. Details such as Lincoln's hair and face, as well as the Lincoln Memorial's columns, are present, albeit slightly worn down. Finding a 1977 penny in fine condition might not be rare. Finding one that's well preserved can be challenging. Coins in uncirculated or near mint condition can fetch significantly higher prices in the market. How much is a 1977 cent without a mint mark in fine condition worth today? As of now, a typical 1977 penny in fine condition might be valued at around $45,000. The real story begins when we look at high-grade or rare variations of this coin. If your 1977 penny is in uncirculated or mint state, MS condition, the value can jump dramatically. M67 or M68 grades, which are incredibly rare. Even though the 1977 Lincoln cent in fine condition isn't going to make you rich overnight, it still has value for beginner collectors and those looking to complete their collection. And who knows, with time the value could appreciate as demand increases. You might be wondering, why would such a common coin hold value in any condition? The answer lies in the collector market dynamics. First, there's nostalgia collectors who grew up with these coins in circulation are often eager to own high-quality versions of them. Second, the Lincoln cent series is one of the most popular in the United States, with collectors often seeking out coins from each year and each mint. Lastly, as the years go by, many of these coins are either lost, damaged, or pulled from circulation, making well-preserved pieces more desirable. If you want to determine if you have a valuable 1977 Lincoln cent, here's what you should do. Check the obverse side. Look for the date 1977 on the obverse side of the coin. There should be no letter below the date, which confirms that it's a Philadelphia Mint coin. Evaluate the condition. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the coin for details. In fine condition, you should still see Lincoln's hair, his bow tie, and the Lincoln Memorial's outline. If these elements are faint or too worn, it might be in a lower grade. Compare with online listings. Check sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Pegs to see if your coin's condition matches those in their listings. This will give you a better idea of its potential value. If you have a 1977 penny without a mint mark and you're thinking of selling it, consider whether to sell it individually or in a set. Sometimes grouping it with other Lincoln cents can attract more attention from buyers. However, if the coin is in exceptional condition, selling it individually might be more profitable. So there you have it. The 1977 Lincoln cent without a mint mark might seem like much. It's a fascinating piece of history that holds more value than you'd expect, especially in higher grades. If you have one of these coins, take a moment to inspect it. Who knows, you could be holding onto a collectible that's worth more than just a penny. Next up, we're talking about the 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel. With its unique features and collector appeal, it's a coin that deserves a closer look. So, let's find out what makes this 5-cent piece special and why it could be worth more than you think. The Jefferson Nickel, first introduced in 1938, has been a staple of American currency for decades. Named after the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, the coin has always featured his portrait on the obverse side and the iconic Montello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse. Designed by Felix Schlag, the nickel's aesthetic remained largely unchanged until 2006, when the mint made some updates. But in the 1960s, especially in 1962, these coins were minted in the millions, but widely circulated and uncommon in pockets across America. So what makes the 1962 Jefferson Nickel stand out today? Specifically, we're focusing on the 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel with a distinct brown shade and in fine condition. This coin has a unique place in the hearts of collectors due to several factors, including its condition, mint mark, and historical context. Let's get into the specifics. The 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark located on the right-hand side of Montello on the reverse of the coin. In fine condition, the details on Jefferson's hair and Montello's architectural lines are still visible, though slightly worn. What's interesting about this particular coin is its unusual brownish shade, which is not typical for nickels. This brownish patina can result from exposure to certain environmental factors over time or a unique metal composition anomaly during minting. While this might seem like a flaw in the world of numismatics, such variations can actually add value and uniqueness, making the coin more desirable for collectors. When it comes to determining a coin's value, condition is king. The 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel is no exception. Coins are graded on a scale from poor P1 to mint state MS70. A coin in fine condition typically means it shows moderate wear but retains most of the major details, making it more valuable than those in lower grades like good or very good. But keep in mind, coins with higher grades like very fine or extra fine can fetch even higher prices, especially if they are free from scratches, corrosion, or damage. If you have a 1962 with D nickel in nearly uncirculated or mint condition, you could be sitting on a significant collector's item. Now let's get to the big question: how much is the 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel worth today? In the collector market, values can vary greatly depending on condition and demand. For a 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel in fine condition, the market value typically ranges from $78,000, which may seem modest. However, for coins with unique attributes like a brownish patina, values can go up to $210,000 or more, depending on the buyer's interest. But what if you have one in extra fine or mint state? In that case, prices can climb as high, with some exceptional examples selling for even more at specialized auctions. So what exactly influences the value of a 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel? Several key factors come into play. Mint mark coins from the Denver Mint, marked with D, have distinct characteristics and a slightly different mintage quality compared to those minted in Philadelphia. Condition: as we mentioned earlier, coins in higher grades command higher prices. Color and toning: that unique brownish shade can make your coin stand out. Error coins: always keep an eye out for minting errors like die cracks, off-centering, or doubling. These can dramatically increase the coin's worth. Demand: market trends change, and what's sought after today might not be the same tomorrow. Always stay updated on collector interest and auction trends. If you've got a 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel and want to know its true value, here's what you can do. Examine the coin's condition. Use a magnifying glass to check for wear and tear, especially on Jefferson's face and Montello's details. Check for errors. Look for any anomalies like doubling or die cracks. Assess the patina. If your coin has a brown shade or unique toning, take note of it. It could make your coin more appealing to collectors. Get a professional opinion. Consider having your coin graded by a professional service for an accurate evaluation. Once you've evaluated your coin, you can research recent auction prices to see where yours might fit in the market. So is your 1962 with D. Jefferson Nickel just another nickel, or is it a hidden gem in your collection? With the right condition and attributes, it could be worth more than you think. Be sure to evaluate your coin carefully and stay informed about the market. Next up, we have a special feature on a very intriguing coin, the Lincoln 1 cent from 1969 without a mint mark, in fine condition. Stay tuned as we explore the history, rarity, and the surprising market value this coin can hold today. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more coin insights. Let's start by giving you a bit of background on the 1969 Lincoln 1 cent coin. This coin belongs to the famous Lincoln Memorial series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. The Lincoln Memorial reverse design was created by Frank Gasparo, featuring the iconic image of the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C. On the obverse side, we have the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been in use on the penny since 1909, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. What makes the 1969 Lincoln penny unique is that it was minted during an era of significant changes in U.S. coinage. The 1969 penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically did not use a mint mark at that time. So, if your 1969 penny lacks a mint mark, you can be sure it was produced in Philadelphia. Now, you might be wondering why the absence of a mint mark is so important. and what it means for the value of your coin. Mint marks indicate the location where the coin was minted. For example, D mint mark shows that the coin was minted in Denver, while an S signifies San Francisco. For the 1969 penny, if you have one without a mint mark, it was struck in Philadelphia. Philadelphia-produced coins are generally more common for certain years, but the value of your coin can greatly depend on its condition. Let's talk about condition. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, and today we're focusing on a 1969 penny in fine condition. A coin in fine condition typically has moderate wear, with major design elements still visible and some minor details smoothed out. Even with some wear and tear, the 1969 Lincoln penny can still hold surprising value to collectors, especially if it's a rare error or variety. Now for the big question, what is the value of a 1969 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark in fine condition on the collector's market today? The value of this coin can fluctuate based on various factors, including rarity, condition, and demand. As of today, a 1969 penny without a mint mark in fine condition is generally valued at $47,000. This may seem like much. If you're interested in collecting or selling your 1969 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark, here are some quick tips. Check the condition. Even small differences in condition can significantly impact the coin's value. Coins in better conditions, such as very fine, extremely fine, or even uncirculated, will be worth more than those in good or fair conditions. Look for errors. Take a close look at your 1969 penny under magnification. Even if your coin is from Philadelphia, it could still have minor errors or die varieties that might increase its value. Get a professional opinion. If you suspect your 1969 penny might be valuable, consider getting it professionally graded by companies like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NENC, or professional coin grading service, PEGS. This can give you an accurate assessment and potentially increase its market value if it's a high-grade specimen. Stay updated on market trends. Coin values can change over time based on collector demand and market conditions. Keep an eye on auction results and numismatic resources to stay informed about the latest trends. So there you have it, folks. The 1969 Lincoln 1 cent without a mint mark in fine condition may be the most valuable penny out there. It's still a fascinating piece of U.S. coinage history. It serves as a great example of how even the smallest details, like the absence of a mint mark, can make a coin special to collectors. Next up, we're diving into an exciting piece of American numismatic history, the 1964 Montello Jefferson Nickel with D mint mark. This particular coin is known for its beautiful, aged black patina and fine condition, making it a standout for collectors in today's market. Stay tuned as we explore its origins, value, and what makes it so highly sought after. Let's begin with a little historical context. The Jefferson Nickel series, featuring the Montello design, was first introduced in 1938 and has remained a staple of American currency ever since. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin honors President Thomas Jefferson and his iconic home, Montello. The 1964 Jefferson Nickel is particularly interesting because it was minted at a pivotal time for the United States Mint. In 1964, the Mint was struggling to keep up with the nation's coin demand, which led to the production of a record number of nickels that year. The Denver Mint, designated by the D mint mark on the reverse side of the coin, played a significant role in meeting that demand. Coins from this era were struck in such large quantities that they were almost immediately common in circulation. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite their high production numbers, certain varieties and conditions, like the 1964 Jefferson Nickel with the D mint mark and its unique black coloration, have become highly collectible over time. And this brings us to the main focus of today's. So what makes the 1964 with D mint mark Jefferson Nickel stand out from other nickels of its time? First, let's talk about its appearance. The black color you see on some of these coins isn't standard, rather, it's the result of natural aging and toning. This dark patina can occur due to various environmental factors, such as exposure to moisture or certain chemicals over time, which gives the coin a unique, antique look. Some collectors love this look because it gives the coin character and makes it visually distinct. Another distinguishing factor is its condition. Today, we're focusing on a 1964 Jefferson Nickel in fine condition. While fine condition may not sound extraordinary to novice collectors, it actually means that the coin still retains many of its key details. The portrait of Jefferson, the Montello building, and the inscriptions remain clear and legible, even if some wear and tear are visible. This level of preservation can significantly influence a coin's market value. Let's now turn our attention to the value of this coin in today's collector market. While many 1964 Jefferson Nickels were minted, finding one with a D mint mark in fine condition, especially with a unique black patina, is relatively uncommon. Collectors and numismatists are willing to pay a premium for such coins due to their rarity and aesthetic appeal. In terms of market value, these coins can range significantly. Standard 1964 with D-mint Jefferson Nickels in average circulated condition typically sell for a modest price, often around $45,000. However, those in fine condition, like the one we're discussing, can start at a few dollars and go up depending on the interest of the buyers. The real excitement comes when unique characteristics, such as the black patina or any striking errors, come into play. Coins with these features have been known to fetch prices of up to $320,000 or more at auctions. If the coin also has historical significance, like being part of an old collection or found in a unique setting, that value can soar even higher. So, how can you ensure that you're getting a good deal if you're buying or selling this type of coin? Here are a few tips. Examine the condition. Make sure you closely inspect the coin's condition. Look for details in Jefferson's hair, the steps of the Montello building, and the clarity of the D-mint mark. Any distinct features or toning can significantly influence the value. Check for authenticity. Unfortunately, counterfeit coins do exist in the market. Consider having the coin authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to ensure it's genuine. Consider the market demand. Keep an eye on market trends. Prices can fluctuate based on the interest in particular coin types, overall economic conditions, and the rarity of specific varieties. Patina and coloration. If your coin has an unusual coloration, like the black patina we've mentioned, be aware that this can sometimes increase the coin's desirability, especially if it enhances its visual appeal. In conclusion, the 1964 with D-mint mark Jefferson Nickel may not be the rarest coin in circulation, but in fine condition with its unique black color, it certainly holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your collection, this coin is a beautiful piece of American history that's worth considering. And next up we have an exciting topic, the 1963 Lincoln 1 cent with the D-mint mark in fine condition. And yes, it even has that rare black shading that many collectors look for. Stick around as we discuss its history, unique characteristics, and what kind of value it holds in today's collector market. The Lincoln cent, or penny as it's commonly known, has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln on its obverse. In 1963, the United States Mint continued the production of the Lincoln cent, marking yet another year in a long-standing series that has seen many variations and unique features. This particular year, the penny was struck at two primary mints, the Philadelphia Mint, which produced coins without a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which is identified by the small d mark just below the date. But what makes the 1963 with D Lincoln cent stand out, especially one in fine condition with a black shade, is a combination of its production history, condition rarity, and appearance. So we'll explore what exactly makes this coin a standout and why collectors are willing to pay big bucks for one in great shape. The 1963 with D Lincoln cent was struck in large numbers, with over 1.7 billion produced at the Denver Mint. These coins were made from a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving them that traditional copper color. However, some of these coins have developed a dark, black shade over time due to oxidation or environmental exposure, which can create a distinctive and desirable appearance. In terms of condition, a fine condition coin is defined by slight wear on the high points of the design, like Lincoln's cheek and jawline, but all details remain clear and sharp. The coin's color also plays a significant role. Collectors may seek out coins that have unique toning, including those with dark or black shades, as it adds to the coin's overall appeal. Now, let's talk about what you're all here for, the value. The 1963 with D Lincoln cent in fine condition generally ranges in value from $60,000 depending on its overall look and appeal. However, certain variations and unique colorations like the black shade can significantly increase the price. Coins with this kind of toning, along with sharp details and minimal scratches, can attract serious collectors who are willing to pay a premium. Based on recent market research, a 1963 with D Lincoln cent with a dark or black shade in fine condition can fetch anywhere between $200,000. However, if the coin's toning is particularly attractive or if it exhibits other desirable features, there are several factors that can influence the value of a 1963 with D Lincoln cent. First, let's look at the condition. The more pristine the coin, the higher its value. For fine condition coin, you're looking at slight wear, but all the major details of Lincoln's face and the text "Liberty and in God We Trust" are visible and clear. As second, the mint mark plays a role. Coins with the D mint mark from the Denver Mint are generally more sought after than their Philadelphia counterparts for this year, as collectors often prefer complete sets from different mints. And lastly, the unique black toning on the coin. This is considered an aesthetic preference, but many collectors are drawn to coins with unusual toning as it sets them apart from standard plain coins. So you might be wondering, How do you determine the value of your own 1963 with D. Lincoln cent? First, examine the coin under good lighting and use a magnifying glass to check the coin's condition. Look for any scratches, nicks, or wear that could impact its grade. Next, assess the toning and color. Does it have a unique black shade? That can be a big selling point. Finally, compare your coin to others being sold in online marketplaces like eBay or specialized coin auction sites. Look at recently sold listings, not just the asking prices, to get a realistic idea of what people are actually paying. And don't forget to have your coin authenticated and graded if you believe it's truly a valuable piece. The 1963 with D. Lincoln cent may seem like much at first glance. As we've discussed today, its condition, mint mark, and unique features like the black shade can make it a valuable addition to any collection. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, keep an eye out for these coins at garage sales, flea markets, or easy ones buried in your spare change. You never know what kind of treasure you might find. Next up, we're diving deep into a fascinating piece of American history, the Montello Jefferson Nickel, minted in 1967. This nickel stands out not only for its design, but also for its unique characteristics that can significantly influence its value in the collector market today. In particular, we'll focus on a 1967 Jefferson Nickel without a mint mark and featuring a greenish shade, which can make it even more intriguing to collectors. So let's uncover what makes this coin special and find out how much it could be worth. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel. The 1967 edition continues the classic design by Felix Schlag, with President Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and his home, Montello, depicted on the reverse. However, the year 1967 was a unique one in the history of American coinage, as no mint marks were used on coins produced in this period. This was part of a measure to discourage coin hoarding that emerged during the mid-1960s. This no mint mark policy from 1965 to 1967 means that all coins produced in this time frame, regardless of which U.S. mint facility made them, do not feature a mint mark. Therefore, it's common to find 1967 Jefferson nickels without the familiar P, D, or S mint marks. But what about the greenish shade we mentioned earlier? Some 1967 Jefferson nickels develop a unique greenish tint or patina over time. This phenomenon typically occurs due to the coin's exposure to certain environmental factors, such as humidity or chemical reactions. While this might not seem like a big deal, a greenish hue can actually make the coin more desirable to certain collectors who view it as a sign of age and originality. However, it's important to note that the presence of this green patina can either increase or decrease the value depending on the buyer's preference. Coins with natural toning or patinas, like this one, can add a premium if the toning is considered attractive and doesn't obscure the design or details of the coin. Collectors may pay extra for such specimens as they are viewed as unique pieces with their own story to tell. So what is a 1967 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, in fine condition, and with a greenish hue worth today? Generally, the value of any coin is determined by factors like rarity, demand, and overall condition. Let's start with the basics. A standard 1967 nickel without mint mark in fine condition might be valued at around $36,000, just slightly above face value. This is due to the high mintage of over 107 million nickels produced that year, making it a common find. However, when we consider unique characteristics like the greenish hue and the coin's overall eye appeal, things can get more interesting. For nickels with an appealing green shade, the value can increase depending on the intensity and spread of the toning. Such coins can be valued anywhere from $130,000 or even higher in certain circumstances. If a collector is specifically looking for toned Jefferson nickels, they might be willing to pay a premium. Now, let's talk about grading. Grading plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. For the 1967 nickel, a coin in fine condition should still have clear details in Jefferson's hair, and most of the Montello steps should be visible, albeit a bit worn. If you have one in higher grades like extra fine or even mint state, the value can increase significantly. Combined with the greenish patina, you're looking at a coin that could be worth much more to the right collector. So what are collectors and dealers actually paying for these nickels today? Recent market trends show that while common 1967 Jefferson nickels in average circulated condition aren't in high demand, unique examples like the green shaded ones can attract niche buyers. On auction sites and in collector forums, some toned nickels have sold for as much as $200,000 depending on the overall appeal and luster. To get top dollar for your 1967 nickel, consider getting it professionally graded and listed in an auction setting where collectors are looking for specialty items. Remember, a coin is only worth as much as someone is willing to pay for it, and finding the right buyer is key. In conclusion, while the 1967 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark may seem common, special characteristics like a greenish patina can make it a unique addition to a collector's portfolio. Whether you're just starting out or you're an experienced numismatist, always keep an eye out for those subtle details that can turn an ordinary coin into a treasure. Have you come across any rare-toned nickels or other unique finds in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more coin insights, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, happy collecting.